information there about A-Wars. Another hint for you guys, hopefully taking advantage of these hints and storing them in your database for when the game starts. You guys are getting a little heads up on everything. So, but I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, wonderful evening, wherever you guys are out in the world. And Crypto Mike is going to start us up. He's going to give everybody a chance to get in here, and then I will be closing it out, and we will have some questions answered. I believe a lot of the members of the team is in here to assist with some of the questions that we might not be sure of. So we get you guys the answer.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get some more people in here. I know people will lag in, Mike, in a few minutes. I'm pretty sure it's the way it always happens.
Yes, sir.
I hope everybody had a good week after NirosX launching, though. That it's in its infancy stage, and it's going to be awesome, the things that are coming.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get you guys some good information about it that I think is going to surprise you guys. I know a lot of people are probably down right now. They're looking at what happened, with the issues of the launch. And, we just tell you guys, bear with it. It's a good project. You can see the team is still here. You see we're here helping out with the AMAs, and the leadership is still around. So, don't lose sight of that. Obviously, if they were doing anything fishy, they wouldn't be here right now. They definitely wouldn't be answering your questions. That's for sure. They'd be just pulling everything out and telling you guys basically to kick rocks and, not be here themselves. So, you see some of these tokens that have done rug pulls recently, and they just literally take everything out. So, do hang out in there and understand that.
Yeah. I mean, rug pulls happen, every day in this crypto space. And unfortunately, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I get into some, I call it, I call it high risk degen trading, where I'll take a few $100s, sometimes turn that into 10,000, or sometimes I'll buy something and I can't buy and I can't sell. I do not recommend anybody doing that. That's just something that I do. So it's a risk versus reward. But I also become aware very quickly of rug pulls and whatnot, to where a few people buy in and then they literally just yank the liquidity out we're talking 20 minutes of launching a token. And I don't care what blockchain it's on. It's Ethereum or BSC or whatever. BSC, it's easier. But on Ethereum, it costs a couple of $1,000s at least to, or more. Depends on the Ethereum fees. Just to launch a contract. So these guys are spending money just to real quick, just to try to make, quick 20, 30, 40, 50,000. And they can in minutes. That's why you have to be careful out there. You really have to be careful as far as where you invest your money. And I can tell you this, that the Niros team, the NirosX team, the A-Wars team, it's all one team. And they're out there every day. You see Guapo and some of the other team players. And I'm telling you, these guys are here, and your investment is safe here. They're before you daily, answering questions, getting out there. I look in the chats all the time, and they're coordinating marketing and Twitter and everything else. You have a team that's working for you to bring value to your investment. And you can't ask for any more than that. So patience, and with time, no seed that's planted in the ground is going to grow up overnight unless it's a weed, right? And that's what you don't want. You don't want that. Those things grow up overnight, and you're like, where'd that come from? You want something that's going to take some time, and it's going to be good when it actually does grow up. And that's what we have here with the Niros team. In fact, they actually, this last week, they locked the LP tokens in the exchange. So that should provide more security. It should be a peace of mind to the community, and it eliminates any possibility of a rug pull. So what that means for you as the investor is, when you invest with NirosX, Niros main flagship token on Ethereum, NirosX is on BSC, and or A-Wars on the Ethereum, the gaming token for the games coming out, you can be for certain, because the liquidity is locked, that it's not going to be one of those things that I talked about. It's not a honeypot. A honeypot is where you buy in but you can't sell. Definitely not that. We've seen some sales this week on all three tokens. It's not a rug pull to where the liquidity is getting yanked out and all of a sudden somebody just ran off with your money. I mean, if you're anything aware in the crypto space, there's been a few of those tokens this week that are kind of in the news for that. And this team is not that. They are here doing everything, crossing the T's, dotting the I's. It's been posted on social media. The link to see from Mudra, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I usually am more accustomed with Unicrypt, but Mudra right here, they're also they have a certificate where you can see how much liquidity is locked and whatnot, and it is a great thing. So that should tell you right there, okay, money's safe, the team's not running off with it. Okay, we're good to go. We're golden. That's what a lot of people want to know, because you don't want to invest into something and next thing you go look to see how much everything's worth, and it's worth 0.000000003 cents, because the liquidity was yanked out. And so that's not happening here, and you should feel safe with that. You should. Now, a lot of people they want extra things. They want docked teams and yada yada, and they go through the whole process of. I've seen it so many times. People will come into chat. It will be Win Marketing, Win Lambo, Win Moon. Who's the dev? Let's see. What other questions do they have, Mike? I know I'm missing it.
Win Exchange.
Oh, Win Exchange. Yeah, there you go. That's a big one. And it's just a bunch of Win
Lambo.
Yeah, Win Lambo. So you literally can't make everybody happy. Not everybody. And if you try to live your life to make everybody happy 100% of the time, then you or yourself are running yourself ragged, and you will not make yourself happy. You'll be the most miserable person at the end of the day. So the Niros team appreciates all of the holders here, because you're the real MVPs. You are sticking it out because you are an early adapter to this great AI technology that's being developed daily, like it's coming along, and because of that AI technology, you're going to see that this is going to be something that is a mass adopted type of business. This is a business. So you're investing yourself into a business that's at its foundational stage, getting itself out of the gate. We haven't even made it past the first turn yet, if you're into horse racing at all. So it's just now getting launched, in other words. And you're here to see it happen. You should congratulate yourself. If you could pat yourself on the back for being wise enough to see the vision, then you should do that. If you need some help, I'll pat you on the back, because you're a smart investor having your money stored here so that you can watch it grow, because there are some big things that are coming down the pipe. And it's not just blow hard, type of language. It's not, we're not just trying to pump you up and, basically fill you full of white bread or Chinese food where you eat, you get full and you're hungry again in 30 minutes after you take a nap. I don't know if anybody's done that. I'm guilty. But there is substance here. There's nourishment here for you. There's something here that's going to help you further your life, because you made smart decisions with your money. And that's what we're about. We're here to teach you, help you along. If any questions, you can see that the team members are in chat for you. You can see that your questions, they don't go unanswered. Maybe somebody didn't see it, but they'll get to you. Believe me, I've watched it in chat. Now, going back to the AI aspect that's being developed, Niros AI is getting so advanced, guys. It's powered into business listings. And what that means is, when you list in the database, and there's a video for this that's been posted on Twitter and in the chat that you guys can look at. And maybe when Mike gets on here, he can go circle back and show it also for you guys if you haven't looked at it. But what it means is, if a business, and me, I'm into business, okay? So this really reaches out to me as a business owner. But when you list in their database, Niros database, basically the AI technology is bringing customers to you. If you're a business owner, somebody's in need of something, whether it's a government entity, a corporate entity, or another business, they are in need of whatever services. So instead of you just going out and spending money on marketing and trying to what they call what it's called in my neck of the woods, because you can tell I'm live in the South and I have a little bit of twang, although I don't have a cowboy hat and do not wear chaps and spurs and I do not ride a horse.
Yes, he does. Don't let him fool you.
What it's called in my neck of the woods, it's called beating the bushes. And if that terminology right there means you're out. But back when I first started my business, for instance, I was a trim carpenter, a finish carpenter by trade before I became a general contractor in the commercial world. So you would have to literally go out and take your business cards, go up, knock on job trailers in subdivisions. For instance, I was in residential, and you would just try to get your foot in the door, introducing yourself to builders. And basically you had to go out and be your own marketing, back at that time. And as things progressed, basically, then all of a sudden you get a reputation and it gets a whole lot easier. And then you can advertise on top of that through digital. Well, what Niros AI is going to do for businesses through the power of AI, it's going to make it to where you don't have to beat the bushes as a business owner. It's literally streamlining the process from need to fulfillment of need. And if you don't understand how powerful that is in this age where you could lose business in the matter of seconds to somebody else, then you don't know what the value of this kind of structure is. Because this is in a matter of seconds, it's going to be able to match you up as a business owner to somebody who's in need of your services. Man, it's better than Google listings. Let me just say that again. It's better than Google listings. And if you've spent money on that as a business owner. So as an investor into this technology, just know that the use case, that's what it was, Mike. That's what I couldn't remember. What's the utility, the use case of this token? That's what everybody, comes in screaming all the time. Well, the use case of Niros and the AI technology behind it, it's literally massive. And it's going to be a game changer, guys. It's going to be mass adopted. You can mark my words on this. It's going to be mass adopted. And I'm telling you right now, if you're investing into this and you're holding, and it doesn't matter if it takes a year, doesn't matter if it takes 5 years, you do realize that crypto right now, it's literally not even on the cusp of mass adoption yet. I hope you guys know that. Think of the .com era. Think of when cell phones, if you're old enough to know this, think of when cell phones were just becoming a thing and cell phone towers started springing up everywhere. And then you had the .com era out of that because the internet, started becoming a thing. People who moved back then became millionaires overnight because they chose to step out on an idea and they saw the vision that this is something that will become a worldwide phenomenon. And because of that right there, it's in the history books, and history repeats itself. So right now we're on the cusp of a new type of technology, blockchain technology. It's only been out a few years, guys. I mean, Bitcoin came out in what, 2007, 2009? I don't remember the exact date. But if we're talking less than 12 years, so Ethereum just came out a few years ago. Think about that for a minute. Now we have all the shoot offs, Solana, all these other shoot offs, even BSC. So because we're only at the beginning infancy stages of blockchain technology by itself, we're moving quickly here in Niros to take advantage of that. And as you invest with Niros, you're going to see that man, I got into something, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam, mass adoption. Everybody's using it. Household name. Household name. Let me say that again. Household name. like when you see Jif peanut butter, or any other thing that you can think of that's in your cupboard as far as food, or a car company, household names, Honda, Ford, GMC, all these other ones. You can tell I'm a truck guy, but all these other ones that household names, you see them live on TV with commercials. Guess what? At some point in time, you're going to see Niros as a household name. Mark my words on that. All right. Well, Mike, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to keep my stuff on mute because I don't feel like having all that feedback for you. I know there was a couple more things that you were going to talk about,
Yes.
and just a reminder. So I'll put it out there for you. You want to talk about we talked about the NirosX. Let's see here. Also about the AI-powered business listings. Did you go over that for the first quarter of next year?
Yeah. I didn't get a time frame on that, but it's starting up. Yes, that's right. It's starting up first quarter of next year, and also they're accepting companies to be integrated into the system right now. So watch that video. Reach out to somebody if there are any business owners that are interested in this. Please watch that video, and explains how to get yourself listed. So
Absolutely.
you're going to take your business to the next level. With the business listings, it combines blockchain technology with AI to grow your business. And the website is www.nirosx.com/business. A little hyphen there, little dash listings. We should probably post that in chat.
Yes, sir. And
All
so
right, go ahead.
You're good, bro.
You go ahead, Mike. I've done enough
All right.
talking.
No problem. No problem. I know it gets tiring really fast, right? It's like, man, I've been doing this for how long today? I get it. So I just want to once again thank you guys all that are on here tonight. I know that different people are from different parts of the world, and that makes a big difference when you are on here. So I want to give you guys some great information and some other things that are coming. That way that you make this at least worth your while for joining us today. So number one, I want to talk about the first A-Wars interactive NFT game pieces are going to be available to claim on Thanksgiving. So there's going to be a link. You're going to go to the link. You'll be able to claim them. And, that's going to be something you're going to be able to do also through the AI. You're going to be able to text or call and get the information on it, which is pretty cool. Definitely shows you how things are interactive, and we'll take it to the next level for you guys. The A-Wars Niros NFT minting begins on December 20th. So keep in mind what I say here, A-Wars and Niros. So a lot of times I know people ask, well, what's going on with Niros? Niros is a huge project. You have to think of Niros, the Niros token, as a business. You're also going to have to think of it as a value token where you do get some proceeds that you can claim in Bitcoin and wrap Bitcoin and wrap Ethereum. But it's also going to be a whole ecosystem of stuff funneled into it. We went over the website one time and we broke down everything that is coming in. There is quite a bit there. So I always tell people new here, reference the website. You're going to get a ton of great information. With A-Wars, the NFTs are integrated into the game. They are huge pieces involved with it. And there are going to be giveaways of different things. For instance, there's going to be Niros giveaways, which are going to be worth money. And the thing is, it's going to bring eyes not only to A-Wars, but Niros as well. As you integrate both things into the one project, you're going to get eyes on both. Now, with NirosX, one of the most exciting things I've heard personally in the crypto space was when I talked to the main man behind the project, and we discussed some of the things for NirosX. I am happy to tell you guys that when I say the influencer that they are bringing on board, that they are at least working a deal out with, I promise you, if the deal's a verbal agreement already, they have to sign some things and put it on paper. But I am telling you guys with full confidence, and anyone who knows me, I try not to oversell and underdeliver. It would be impossible for me to oversell the celebrity status of this person. I will put it to you this way. The amount of people that will want to get involved with NirosX because of this one person is more than you have seen from any other celebrity, influencer, any other token has ever done. Let me stress to you once again, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are nothing compared to this person. Paris Hilton, nothing. Busta Rhymes, nothing. This person is in a whole nother world when it comes to the amount of attention this will bring. If you think Elon Musk brings attention to a project, I promise you, if this person does mention anything with NirosX, it is going to be huge. Now, with that being said, you have to understand that when these people use NirosX, we discussed this a couple times, and I want to reiterate this once again. Powered by NirosX is some of the terminology you guys are going to hear quite a bit. Powered by NirosX. And I want you guys to get familiar with that term. When you hear of a baseball team using technology powered by NirosX, but it's called, whatever they want it to be called, that is still NirosX. A lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of influencers, a lot of these different things that are going to be using NirosX, they may change the name of it, but it's going to be powered by NirosX. So what's going to happen is basically, as a holder, one of the advantages, if not one of the major advantages you're going to have, is you're going to have a token that right now is very low in volume, right now is very low in price. And it's one of those things where smart money buys it up now, and I'll tell you why. When a company that secures a deal with us is going to want to use this token, they have to buy from the same place you do. They have to buy a huge amount of the supply up in order to use it for a transactional token. So if they want to use, if they're expecting to do about $100,000 of volume, $100,000 worth of merchandise, $100,000 worth of transactions, if they're going to have to do what they expect to be $100,000, they're going to have to buy that much up front of NirosX to use for their transactions for merchandise or whatever they want to do. I will say that this person, and I don't want to give away any hints, but if we do secure the deal, we'll drop some hints for you guys. I don't care where you are in the world, you'll know who this person is, I promise you, which is pretty incredible. And no matter your age, you're going to know who this person is. But I will say that this person is going, as of now, the deal is they're going to be doing an NFT project, and NirosX is going to be involved. And the company that's affiliated with the Niros token and all the different parts of it is going to be the ones building out everything for the metaverse within that person's project. And when I say that this person is, somebody who people follow, I promise you that it's mind-blowing to me. It is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Give me 1 second, guys. It is mind-blowing to me how big of a celebrity status this is, and I cannot stress that enough without being upfront of how my mind is blown, actually. But I will tell you that this person is very creative and very interesting and very diverse and different, and does have their hand on so many different things that I'm surprised this person has not got into NFTs sooner. But it will stimulate the NFT market. If you're currently holding NFTs, if this person secures this deal, I promise you, you will see NFTs across the board go up quite a bit in price, because anything this person touches has gone up. It's in different sectors. You're talking about in the music industry, in the fashion industry, in all different segments of celebrity stuff, television, and production, and I mean, you name it, just all over the place. And like I said, this will be bigger than anything you've ever seen before. And this person's a possibility, and looks like it's pretty much a done deal, just a paper thing that they're going to be involved with us. And there's some details to be worked out, how it's going to be structured and everything. But I am telling you guys right now, if you can hold on, if you have, I always say, don't invest what you're not willing to lose. The launch of NirosX, there were some glitches, and liquidity is getting constantly added back in from what happened in the beginning, if you haven't noticed. But what do you have? You have people paper hand selling, because they don't understand what's coming. They go, well, you know what? I'm getting back some of this, and I'm going to go ahead and sell. And they don't understand there was an issue which clearly stated, and the team has clearly stated it, and it's out there where you can see it, where it was pegged to the wrong entry on the Pancake initial offering, And then once they did fix it, you did have an issue where someone basically got hacked. You guys, we always stress to you about being careful about claiming stuff that don't know about. Don't transfer any tokens. You don't know what they are. I literally had a token transferred into my wallet that said it was worth $3 million. Okay. You know what people usually do with that is they go and sell it and go, oh crap. They become greedy and they become irrational. And one thing I always tell people to do is to be rational and don't be greedy, because you will get burned by doing those two things the wrong way. So please, guys, do be safe out there, because you can see how you can hurt a project, how you can hurt other people by being ignorant and not paying attention, or by not being knowledgeable. When you are dealing in crypto, please be safe out there. But back to this person. I mean, I just tell you guys, hold on. And if you're wearing socks, please take them off, because they will not stay on your feet. It will be such a big announcement that it will rock not only Niros, but it will rock the whole industry of crypto. Okay, now another thing I did want to go over with you guys. We have cable ads running Cyber Monday for 45 days on all tokens. Niros, NirosX, and A-Wars. So this is not something that's going to be a little campaign that's going to be on Bob Smith's local cooking channel. This is going to be stuff that's going to be on Hulu. It's going to be on major market television. It's stuff that's going to be out there. The cool thing is it's going to be segment based off of the token. For instance, sci-fi is where you're going to be watching for A-Wars. You're going to be watching, BET for some of the NirosX and Niros things. MTV for the millennials, since they're interested in these things as well. So it's going to be stuff that's going to be out there on major networks. You see a lot of companies, all they want to do is put billboards up in Times Square. That's not anything that's going to really get attention. This is stuff on TNT, like I said, BET, MTV, major television, and then also hitting internet-based television on Hulu. So it's covering different segments. The other part about that I want you guys to know is that it's going to run for about 45 days. After 45 days, what the team is going to do is they're going to reevaluate what works, what didn't work, and trying to get an understanding of seeing if it's stuff that help and make a difference. Let me repeat to you, a 45-day blast on television and internet streaming service of all three tokens that if you are involved with and you are holding, you should see that. Not only that, they are major investment companies that I cannot talk about, okay, unfortunately, only because there's certain deals that are done and there's certain deals that are being done. And we're not talking about little investment companies. We're talking about some of the biggest companies in the world that are actually looking at doing stuff within this project. I am here and I put my name on things. And one thing I hope you guys understand is that I don't take this lightly. I'm very passionate about what I do, because when I do this, I'm pulling time away from my family and I'm pulling time away from my work. I'm pulling time away from different projects. And I am so believing in this project and the people behind it, the team, and the things that they want to do, that you're going to see a lot of our focus shift over here. And me and Mike will probably try to grow within the project as well. There's things that we want to bring. Me and Mike have 2 AMAs left. This is one of them. And normally at the end of the next AMA, it would be goodbye to you guys. And we would be investors in here asking questions just like you guys. But we are so believing in this project that we don't want to leave. And I don't think the big man wants us to go. So it's something that we may build a bigger relationship with, because this project, I am telling you guys now, it makes me sick. It honestly makes me sick, the amount of stuff that is going to happen here. And I wish I can share more, but obviously we want to not oversell and underdeliver. But I hope I gave you guys some great news for all the people that are asking, hey, what are you guys going to do about this? What are you going to do about that? A 45-day campaign on television. You are going to see ads. If you're watching television, the chances are you're going to hear something about Niros, A-Wars, or NirosX. You're going to see that the website is already up. Businesses can start applying on the NirosX aspect. Niros is going to be the token that's going to be rewarded on a lot of this A-War stuff. All this stuff is out there, guys. And the influencer that they're working a deal with, that we have a verbal agreement with, that they're trying to get things on paper with, I promise you. In fact, once this gets announced, if everything proceeds like it should, okay, I literally challenge anybody here when this person gets announced to show me or tell me a bigger influencer than this person. I challenge them. I almost will be willing to make a wager. We'll figure out a wager. That is how huge this is. This is not a retired basketball player or retired, music artist that has connections within music and stuff. This is the real deal. This is somebody who is popular now, has been popular for, I don't know, 10 to 15 years. It's somebody who is evolving themselves and constantly getting into stuff. It is somebody worth probably $1 billion. I mean, that's to me huge. There's not going to be many names in the industry that are going to bring greater attention. And when I tell you it will, if everything that I was discussed in the meeting with the main man, me and Mike and I, if everything comes into fruition based off of what we were talking about, I'm just telling you guys, this is not only for Niros, this is going to change crypto and the NFT space like you guys would not believe. So I really want to leave you guys with that. Like I said, I don't want to give you guys away too much information. I hope that's stuff that gets you guys understanding and believing, because it's stuff that's legit. It's not a game. And they take this very serious. This is a business. There's meetings. There's communication with other countries. You have to understand that the team at the top is literally flying to other countries to lock in deals. I know you guys look at the price right now and go, oh man, it's down. You know what big investors do? They go, well, this is a dip that I can buy and grow from. I see where it was and I see where it's going. So if I can buy a little lower, it's like a sale. I'm buying on sale with the hopes that it just needs to get to where it was, if not surpass that. And now I am more than green. All we got to do is hold where we're at and proceed back up and not move back anymore. And that investment that they make is going to be huge. And that's going to go into other companies where other companies will go, well, you know what? I see what they did. Wow, that worked. And you're going to start seeing the hype build and the snowball effect. And what I call the action that causes a reaction. And in this case, a positive overreaction. And that's what you guys want. That's what I want. That's what investors want. So from there, let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Did I miss anything, Mike? Is there anything you want to throw in there that I might have missed?
Yeah. So did you go over the minting for AWAR and Niros NFTs? The Niros NFTs are the high end NFTs. So they're, from I believe the artist that's connected with the project. Did you
Go ahead, talk about
it?
You're good. You're good, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so AWAR's and Niros NFT minting, it begins December 20th. More information to come on that as far as the specifics. I guess where we can be able to mint those from. I want to get in line for that. And then also AWAR's mini interactive story mode first hints have been dropped, and I believe that's launching on December 10th. So December 10th, mark that down. And the first hints have already been dropped. There's a tweet about it on from Alien World Wars. Go check that out. And the first AWARS interactive NFT game pieces are available to claim on Thanksgiving. So eat your turkey, eat your aunt's, whatever she's going to bring for potluck or whatever, and then claim your first NFT game pieces from AWARS on Thanksgiving Day. It's guys, it's getting close. So what you guys don't understand, the charts are not lining up right now. All this stuff is coming together, and it's literally going to crash on you guys like a tsunami. All the things that are coming together, it's a multi-faceted, dragon with many heads that is just all coming together. Many different avenues are being worked on simultaneously. It's multitasking at its best, and it's all coming to fruition. So I implore you, man, tell your grandma about this. Tell somebody, because if you want to see somebody blessed in their life that's in your life, get them in, because you are going to see some unreal action here soon.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, guys, any questions we could answer for you guys, go ahead and ask away. And, you know, the team is in here with us. I see Guapo is in here. I see Niros, Spaceman Spiff. I see, let's see who else I see part of the team. If I'm missing anybody, I do apologize. But they're here. They're here to help you guys. So, yeah, if you have questions, go ahead and ask, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Maybe we answered a lot of questions ahead of time, Mike. It always happens.
Yeah, I have a question. I have a question. So
You're supposed to be answering them, not asking.
yeah. So I wanted to ask you, so about NirosX. You said if a business is coming to use NirosX, they're going to buy, 100K of NirosX, and they're going to use it, right? The thing is that me as a company, I will come to buy 100K of NirosX, but how I can be sure the stability of the price of NirosX, if it's going down or up, how this will match.
Well, go ahead, Mike, because we got that answer.
So when a company buys, it's literally going to be put basically on its own blockchain to be used away from NirosX. Does that make sense? So the price at that point is not going to matter as a transactional token for a business that is using it. It's only going to be in its own closed circuit world, so to speak.
Like an exchange.
Yep.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, that's very important to mention, the companies, because a lot of them probably they're like how we stabilize the price of a crypto, because we all here they're so volatile, like they're going up and down a lot, That's important.
We're gonna go either, we gotta find out they're at Hungry Crab or.
You heard that?
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not muted.
I know. I went to hit mute. My wife was talking to me. Sorry. That's adult life.
All right. Did that answer your question there, Pro?
Yeah, definitely. I think we should.
Okay. Who else has got a question?
And let me add something to that too, that, when you look at it, is you got to look at it as when you look at these projects out there that start getting a listing, part of the reason why people love getting listings is they go, oh, wow, we're going to see a pop because they got to buy. Like Robinhood's a perfect example, right? Let's use Robinhood in this example. Robinhood has to buy this huge block of token. So it's almost like that supply of tokens is gone from the pancake swap, right? Those tokens are gone because they are holding on to those tokens. Those tokens are being exchanged within their own network where they're basically buying it. And their goal is to constantly make money by the back and forth of the transactions, by almost like people having to buy those tokens from them and then selling them and back and forth. Now, the whole point of the business is going to see the value by, people are going to have to buy those tokens in order to use them. So that's the value that they're going to have. And they're going to be able to trademark it almost like it's their own thing in the aspect of, let's say I wanted to have a token powered by NirosX, right? I would call it, let's say, Mike Maker a Millionaire's token. And I can go ahead and have a network pool of those tokens. And I can have people that are using those tokens in order to buy merchandise from me. So it's really cool because what it does is it allows you to have those tokens almost like if they're getting pulled out of the supply, you're getting the price pop from it while not really seeing the sells because they're going to hold on to it. Especially some of the companies that are lined up are major sporting companies, and those companies are going to be using them year in and year out for merchandise and things like that if this goes really well. And then the popularity aspect of it, as it becomes more popular, integrated in different places, you're going to find that more people are going to want to get in on this, and then their tokens are going to be more valuable too. So they're going to see that aspect of it as well. So it's a really cool feature, guys. I think it's something that if you're investing early, one thing Mike Crypto always mentions is about liquidity curves and how the curvature of liquidity is. In the beginning, when you are buying tokens, you're going to be able to get a lot more tokens, right? When the price is low, you're able to get more bang for your buck. Well, as the liquidity gets added into it, you're going to find that also it balances it out where you're not going to be able to get as many tokens. So I will tell you this, you guys probably would be interested in loading up your bags now if you haven't already, if you're able to. Once again, this is not financial advice, but you would want to get in early as much as possible. And if you can get in after it dipped, guys, when these transactions come through, these are not going to be little transactions. And if people start selling out from it, you're going to have other companies buying it up too. So it's going to be a bunch of big buys, not just these tiny little buys and sells, $10,000 of volume in a day. You're talking about all this volume that happens in a day in transactions. People are not going to know what to do. They're going to freak out because they're going to go, holy crap, what's going on here? So I do want to stress that to you guys. I think that's an important aspect and that you guys need to know. So, yep. Any other questions, guys? Anybody else?
I have a question.
Perfect. Go ahead. Go for it. Who is it?
This is to the moon.
To the moon. Cool, man.
Hey, quick question. So, are there not other transactional tokens like NirosX? I guess what I'm asking is, why would the businesses choose to use NirosX over any other transactional token for this type of thing?
You just hit the nail on the head because nobody else is really doing it. So one of the things that you find that make, like for instance, okay, one of the things that a lot of cryptos strive for is mass adoption, right? A lot of them want mass adoption, but a lot of them are meme tokens. Okay. So the problem when you're a meme token is that you're not going to get taken serious from business. You have to understand that the backing behind this project are people who are actually in businesses. They've already have the connections that most crypto coin launchers wish to make already established within this project. So it's one of those where they have the connections to talk to the business. If I was to call, name a, I don't know what sports you like. Name a sports team for me. To the moon.
I think you referenced the Cowboys before.
Okay, let's use the Cowboys then. Perfect example. So let's say that I want to contact Jerry Jones because I want the Cowboys to accept my crypto token, the Mike Maker of Millionaires token. I want them to use it on their thing similar. Well, what's the chances of me getting a meeting with Jerry Jones to go over this? I mean, honestly, probably not going to happen, right? So you have to understand that the network that's involved on the back end of this project already have things that they have connections for. They've already done things for businesses. You're talking about having connections in music and movies and the Universal Studios and all kinds of huge things that they already have access to. They have team members that develop gaming. You're talking about the Unreal Engine. You're talking about connections that are far superior than anything that Shiba, Satama, and all these other tokens have. Because this is real world, they're not hiring a celebrity or a former celebrity to make connections within the industry. They are the industry, if that makes sense, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, no problem, man. Great question. And the funny thing
actually
is,
have one more question, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second. Mike, can you cover me for a second?
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
What's your question?
Okay, so let's say the Cowboys buys, I don't know, 2 billion NirosX to use as a transactional token for their merchandise. How does that work? How would people actually buy merchandise using NirosX? And would they be setting their own prices if those tokens are on its own blockchain separate from everything else?
Yeah, so it's going to be on its own exchange, so it will have its own price. So as far as them setting the price, pretty sure it's going to be in its own closed knit unit, so they can probably. I'll have to get confirmation on how that part works as far as on the back end structure of that. But since they're going to be using it within their own system, like Mike said, they can name it whatever they want. They can name it Cowboys token, and so what NirosX is doing, it's providing a service. Let me give you an example. I don't know if you're a gamer or not, But if anybody is a gamer and you go and you say you're playing COD, any kind of Call of Duty game, it doesn't matter what it is, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, anything like that. Well, if you want to do any kind of transactions in that game, you literally have to buy into it, and you buy something called COD points. Well, COD points is basically kind of like a cryptocurrency, to where it's converted over to their currency to be able to buy their units, whatever they're selling in their stores, right? So that's what NirosX essentially is. It's going to convert fiat over to whatever the transactional token for whatever thing that is in that arena, whatever business is using it. Okay, so basically, you can essentially say that NirosX is basically selling the license to use the NirosX token to that entity, to where they can use it as a closed knit, like almost not trademarked, but almost look like a trademark type token inside their store and
Gotcha.
whatever. So but they're going to have to buy it first, right? That's the thing. That's where it's good for the holders. So they're going to have to buy it, and once they buy it, that helps the holders, right? And then they're using it in their closed knit system, so you're not going to see sales of that. You're not going to see return sales of the DEX unless they stop using the service.
Right. All those coins will be in their network, but it'll be pulled out of basically the exchanges.
Yes. There you go.
Gotcha. Okay, great. That
Yeah,
clears
and
everything up. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and another thing to look at why a business would want to do that is the ease of it. If you have something that's already done that you can buy into and basically change it into your name, it's a no-brainer. Imagine like an NFT project like Bored Apes decided, hey, you know what, we're blowing up so much, we want to take this NirosX token and call it the Bored Ape Yacht Club token, right? Instead of them having to go into do all this contract stuff, hiring people to do this and do that, they're going to be able to use a token kind of as a mirror. The same way you see a lot of projects do exchanges, and let's be real, they're just Uniswap mirrors. You see a lot of projects make their own NFT platform, and it's a mirror of Rarible. It's not like a built from ground up thing. I mean, they might make some small UI changes, but at the end of the day, it's just a mirror of something else, right? It's a carbon copy. So instead of them having to build something from the ground up, they're able to make a carbon copy of this token and allow it to be the transactional token that they can put in whatever name they want. So once again, like Cowboy token or, whatever, the Jerry Jones token, you can literally call it whatever you want, but it's going to be powered by NirosX. It's basically going to be NirosX. I mean, movie theaters can literally take this. As crypto becomes even more mass adapted, keep in mind, look at the Los Angeles stadium. It's called crypto.com arena now. I know India is talking about stopping crypto, but believe me, many of us live in states that are not supposed to go over a Binance bridge. Yet many of us use VPNs. People are intelligent, especially people in India are very intelligent. They're technology savvy. They will find ways to trade crypto. Unless you have these governments going in and like pulling people's internet off, all it does, honestly, it creates even more FOMO into crypto. The initial thing is the fear that people have of the unknown, but once it settles down and they figure it out, you're going to find that people will buy. Remember, Bitcoin started on the black market. Okay. All these cryptos are very hard to buy for some people, but once you get a feel for it, it's easy. Mass adoption is coming into crypto, whether it's in the United States or other countries. In fact, in South America, there's countries already accepting Bitcoin as a government currency, basically, just about. So it's coming, guys, because taxations and regulations are there for mass adoption. People with big money and governments like to scare the retail investors that get in early, so that way they could take advantage. It happens in stocks all the time, and you're seeing it in crypto. They are trying to shake out the weak hands so they could buy the dip, and then they will hold it past where the weak hands let go, and they will see it move up and make a lot of money on the people that got scared. So you're going to see a lot of companies want easy access to crypto projects, and NirosX is going to provide a solution for small business and big businesses alike in order to be able to get into the crypto game.
So, Mike, one follow-up question. Exactly. So, any arena like what you gave example, it's going to set their own price, or how does that work? Because if they buy in at certain price, then that pull is gone. But in future, if price increases, that is not desirable for that arena. Is that correct? So how would that work?
Mike, that's you right there. There's the tokenomics, man.
Okay, so you're going to have to repeat the question for me.
All right. So let's say one arena buys 2 billion tokens, and they have bought it. It's different clone now, or whatever you're calling. It's coming from different pool, I guess, right? Based off of NeuroX, but coming from the different pool. So I'm wondering how the price stabilizes for that pool, and why would business buy it if price is not stable?
Why would the price not be stable?
Because there is trading going on, right, on the base NirosX.
It's the same question I done before. It's the same question I done before. The NirosX price, if it will be stable and enough stable for the businesses to pop up in, and you responded to me.
I don't see why it wouldn't be stable for businesses if they're using it in their own closed knit system. That's not it's basically connected from everywhere else.
Exactly. This is have to explain him. I think this is the part you don't understand.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
would you mind if I give an example for this real quick? I think I can simplify it for people to understand. So let's say you go to the grocery store and you're in the let's say you need ketchup. Now there's brand name ketchup and there's other ketchups in there as well. What a lot of companies do is called white labeling. And what white labeling is Heinz can sell any company or grocery store a big amount of ketchup, and that grocery store will put their own label on it. That's why a lot of grocery stores have their own label of Oreos, their own brand of Oreos, like Kroger Oreo, Kroger ketchup. But all that comes from one or two factories. But you have hundreds of different brands of the same cookie that's just stamped with their own branding. That's called white labeling. If you guys live in the West or close to the West, or I don't know how far Trader Joe's reaches, but Trader Joe's sells everything in their store as Trader Joe's brand. But in reality, those are brands from the actual people that are making the brand name stuff. Trader Joe's just buys in bulk and slaps their own sticker on it. And that's what we're doing with NirosX. So when someone comes and wants to get into the crypto game, they get a bunch of NirosX, which shoots up the price of NirosX, but they slap their own brand onto that coin, which is traded on our blockchain. I hope that makes sense.
So when they want to cash out, it's not going to affect the price of DEX because it's on its own blockchain.
Correct.
Exactly, and that's what I was trying to explain. That's why I was saying, why would the price not be stable? The price is going to be stable for DEX because essentially people are buying from the DEX, moving it, and it's being moved over to an exchange so that they can. So when that company wants to take money out for all their transactions, they're going to be doing it on an exchange, which does not at all affect the DEX. The DEX is its own thing. That's where we're at right now. And when businesses buys, they're going to be on a CEX, a centralized exchange. And so it's not going to affect the DEX at all. So the price stability is going to be there. And when they want to cash out, they're going to be able to cash out, but it's not going to affect you and I, the investor. The only thing it's going to affect is when they do the buys. Now, if contract runs out and they don't want to use the token no more, then yes, they might sell back. But they're going to sell back to the centralized exchange. They're not going to be selling back to the DEX. Am I right on that, Guapo?
I don't think he heard you, Mike. Guapo, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I said correct, but I pressed the microphone button too quick.
Okay. All right. Well, see, there you go, guys. So basically, so the benefits of holding NirosX right now is basically getting in before the businesses start to purchase. And I'm telling you, and Mike's already alluded to it, that there are already businesses that are very interested in using this transactional token, white labeling it. That's a good, thank you, Guapo, for that. White labeling it. Go ahead.
I just said no problem.
Oh, okay. Telegram's funny, man. We should be doing this on a Twitter space or Discord or something. Because Telegram sometimes it doesn't work. It doesn't work well. But anyway, so the white labeling aspect of somebody can, basically buying the rights and they can slap their label on it, and then they're going to be able to use it within their company. So you could just basically use your credit card for fiat, use your fiat, and then boom, you got basically, I want to say, call it COD points, because that's what it is. And then all of a sudden you can buy and sell merchandise within that store. And so this is an awesome concept. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be mass adopted. Any more questions?
And also, guys, we mentioned
Thanks for
about
that.
the buying. We mentioned about the buying from like companies or groups. You also have to understand that if this launches and does really well with companies, they might want to buy more, especially if the price is going up. What is that going to do? That's going to create a FOMO within businesses where they go, "Oh crap, I need to buy more because this is going so good." Hey, our consumer is loving this idea of getting into crypto. Look how well it's working. Oh my goodness, I want to get more tokens. Well, guess what? Then they buy more, and that pushes up the price even more. So it's one of those where it's a very favorable deal for NirosX holders. And what you're going to have in the beginning is you're going to get a huge buy and you're going to get some sell off from it. But then smart investors are going to buy it up and they're going to get in, or you're going to see that second company come in and buy up that dip. And then before you know it, all the weak hands start getting out. And then the true holders that hold are the ones that do become, generational wealthy if they are smart investing. Because so many people are so quick to go, well, you know what? I made $5,000. Woof, I'm good. And then they see the guy that makes $5 million and go, man, that could have been me. How many times in crypto do you hear that? You know what? That could have been me. Oh, if I would have sold, if I would have held, if I would have bought, if I would have, if. Guys, no one has a crystal ball here. All we can do is put the best possible odds and stack them in your favor. And the way you see that in crypto is you find a project that is not a rug pull. Okay. You find one that the people are out there grinding for you. I mean, I see this team out here 25 hours a day, 8 days a week for you guys, 399 days a year. I mean, whenever I'm in the chat, there is usually some kind of moderator there, knowledgeable about the project, answering questions, which impresses me quite a bit. But I do stress to you guys, this project is legit. And I think that when you guys see everything come into fruition, you're going to the only thing you're going to do is wish you would have bought more. And I already know I'm going to see it constantly. I'm going to see people writing, man, I should have, I could have, I would have. I should have, I could have, I would have. And this is your opportunity not to say that. That is what I'm going to leave you guys with. Somebody was going to ask a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I still have a question left. So basically, everything is clear, but how will that benefit the holder of NirosX if somebody's buy an amount of token and they bring into their own ecosystem? Do we gonna have anything from their inside transactions, or we just gonna wait till another guy will buy X amount of tokens and bring to his ecosystem?
Dude, listen to what you're saying. I mean, think about it. You're getting a huge transactions of buys. How is that not an advantage? You don't want to deal with their buys and sells that are going on their own ecosystem. They're literally forced to buy a mass amount of whatever they want to use in tokens. Maybe it's 5 or 10,000 to start with. 20,000 could be $100,000 worth of tokens. So as a holder, you're going to see those buys come in, right? And you're not going to be flushed with that specific company making a sell, because they're going to have to use that for their own exchange. Go look at Satama and go look in their in all their transactions and go find Hotbit. Go find the different exchanges, and the exchanges are some of the biggest holders, but they're not selling. They hold that. Just like if Robinhood came in and bought for SHIB, that let's say they did a $1 billion buy, right? That's going to push the price hella up. And they're not selling, they're using those tokens for transactions within their own network for them to make money on. So it also brings eyes to their projects. It's like an advertisement for them. Like, hey guys, we accept crypto. We have our own crypto token. And think about how many people are like, oh, that's cool. I want to get into that. So that is how it helps you as a holder, is that you're being able to see buys come in, and that project is not selling. They're buying just like an exchange. So the difference with an exchange is, understand, if Niros goes, hey, we want to be in Hotbit, we got to provide liquidity, and we have to go ahead and give them free tokens, basically, for them to make money off of the project, right? To get attention.
Yeah.
The difference with this is more like Robinhood, where Robinhood has to buy a mass amount of tokens to allow them to do transactions. And this basically is the same thing. For them to use the NirosX, or to use their own version of NirosX to quote unquote white label it, they would have to buy a mass amount and have to use it within their own exchange. So if I buy and sell the NirosX token for the Dallas Cowboys, just as an example we used, I buy it to buy merch, and then I get the merch back. There is no buy-sell transaction on that on my end that's going to affect you as a holder, because the Dallas Cowboys are the ones that made that huge purchase and are basically getting to use the token as a transactional token in their own little system.
Okay, so if we go with football, so let's use this. You got Dallas Cowboys, right? I got New York Giants. So let's say both of those teams pull out a lot of tokens. Now, are they going to be able to bring them back and make us buy them back, or no? I mean, sell them back into a NirosX. Are they supposed to keep them to themselves if they rebrand the token?
Well, if they rebrand the token, they would be owning those tokens. It'd be their tokens, and they can put it under whatever name they want, and you would actually see the buy transaction, but they wouldn't be selling it back into the NirosX part unless they, let's say there's a Guapo, let me make sure I got this correct. There's some kind of term on a contract that they would have to hold these tokens to. How would that work? Let me make sure I get you guys a correct answer from the team. Okay.
So pretty much, if they buy it at a certain price, and that's the price, and for some reason, they have contract options. If they want to renew or buy more, they can, and they're just going to end up buying it more expensive. And it's the same thing if they want to return. It's the same thing, but put it this way: once they buy the tokens and their tokens are in circulation, I mean, you have even more holders. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're going to return like the whole bit that they have in the first place, because now people are trading their coins. People are buying and selling their coins. It wouldn't even make sense to really return the coins.
What's the term for going forward? Well, is it a 1-year term, 6-month term?
It depends. It depends on the contract. So if they want to do like a 10-year thing or whatever, then that's a 10-year thing. But if you guys look at like XRP, for example, that got adopted by American Express. So this is pretty much the same thing. You know what I mean? It's just we're literally at infancy. Look what happened when Amex stepped in the picture for XRP. That thing shot up, and it's still holding. I still have XRP from when it was, I think, 11 or 12 cents.
All right.
Did that answer your question there, Mazil?
No, all good. It's cleared out. I understand. They're not going to be they won't be able to bring all the tokens back because some users going to use their token. I understand that. So I'm just basically thinking who we are right now. Are we at the oil rig and give them crude oil and they make the gasoline and they make plastic and whatever? Or are we gasoline and let them just drive the cars, So basically it's all clear.
Put it this way. If there's different gas companies all around the world, but there's only a few producers supplying to all these gas companies. And when they buy this gasoline, they set their own prices, and different places, different prices.
Yes. That's why we're industry. Now I know what I hold. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're holding a money printing machine is what you're holding. All right. Hey, who else has got questions? We love the questions. Bring them to us, guys.
So I have a question. This is Crypto Cowboy. So
Using the scenario that we've been talking about for the past couple of minutes with the um, Cowboys stadium, the business side, what are the plans or the roadmap, I should say, uh, to build up to that point where you can have the owners of the stadium or the business side of the team say, okay, give me a trillion coins, for instance, right? Just throwing a number out there.
It's already being, the team is already working on it in the background. They're not until it is actually signed to contracts, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Not announcing anything. Just know that there are talks
Right.
happening with several businesses, and sports teams are businesses.
Okay, so the other part of what I was going to say on that question is, so is the expectation for the business side of these teams to come up with their own app, so when they have the everyone, the spectators coming to view the sport, to use their own system, or are we just providing the coins and no system, no extra software? We just providing the transaction in the blockchain behind it. Are they going to use their own system to process these transactions?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Guapo, this would be a perfect question for you to answer because I don't know that side of the business yet.
Well, 8 months to a year, we'll have our own blockchain. So anybody white labeling with us will have to trade within our blockchain.
Right, but see, that's on the back end. But on the front end, for the user, from a user experience, what would that experience look like?
Can you repeat your question? I think I misunderstood.
Okay,
I think he's asking if you guys are making a wallet or if they're going to have their own specialty wallet based on the business.
Yeah, so it really depends. That's going to be an option for the company. Some people will want to have their own app and their own front end that they develop in-house. And we're kind of getting into things that aren't really supposed to be discussed on this AMA, but let's just say that will be an option for the company. They'll be able to make that choice whether they want to use their own front end or go through a third party front end, possibly our own. But like I said, we're kind of getting a bit ahead of schedule there. So yeah, it's an option for the company to use their own front end.
And and I want to say thank you for saying that, because I'm a ride or dyer here, investor since the beginning. So I'm not, I always say I'm not selling no matter what, right? The other thing is the importance behind this crypto movement. I think everyone should really understand. Like even I have properties in different states, and I have now myself has started accepting cryptocurrency, like for payment for the rent or the vacation stays or whatever temporary stay that's going on, and it's becoming serious to me now. So like I'm really trying to understand and make sure that I really know the direction that NirosX, because I have some future plans myself, right? So I'm listening to this and my mind is firing up. So really thank you guys for staying dedicated to the process.
Thank you for the great question. I know sometimes we hear things like, hey, we're not ready to answer that question yet because at the end, that's not with the contracts they have going on. You guys have to understand that it's like a rolling, it's a snowball effect and it does get bigger, but it's a great question. And that's what we want. We want the insight. We want to know what you guys want to know so we can get the answers for you guys. So, it's one of those where feel free to ask and understand. Don't get upset sometimes if we say things like, hey, we are not like fully capable of giving you this full answer yet, because we don't want to give you the wrong answer. Too many times on AMAs, we get clipped for providing information. And then someone goes, well, earlier you guys told me 3 months ago, you guys said, and so, we do try to err on the side of caution with too much information, basically what we need to know right now is that there are contracts that are getting finalized for major companies that have plans to use NirosX. NirosX will be used as either something called NirosX, or they can rebrand it, but they would have to buy NirosX in order to do these transactions. And they will be doing these transactions in a separate area that is not going to be done on like your pancake swap after the initial buy-in. They'll have almost their own little world or universe to use these tokens at. So the best way to look at NirosX is as a project right now that is building a solution for people that want to get into crypto and make mass adoption into businesses. And then they have the options to grow with NirosX as NirosX grows, and to get in early now. And when they see the value of it, can you imagine if you bought, I don't know, let's say 1 billion tokens as a trial run as a business, and then you realize, man, you know, this is great, and you go to buy another 1 billion tokens and the price is 3 times what it is. You're gonna be like, oh crap, I need to maybe buy a little extra now because this price keeps going up. So what it's going to do is it's going to educate the business on the crypto aspect of getting in early, and they're going to find that it's going to push up, and it's going to allow them to see that, hey, you know what? Those first set of tokens I got was a good deal. I need to buy more. No different than an investor, and not all businesses look at it that way. So, but great question, and I hope that helps.
And again, if I might just add real quick, if you're worried about price action because there's companies buying out and taking basically tokens from DEX, decentralized exchange, and you're thinking there's going to be no price action after that for the token and whatnot, you know, just waiting on another business to sign on. Well, that's not true. You got to understand. Obviously, with big buys, there's also going to be big sales, but there is basically anti-whale mechanics for this token to where people aren't just going to be able to just dump mass loads. So with that right there, there's just going to be a fluctuation in price. There's going to be normal trading that happens because people are going to hear about it, and there's going to be buys, and then there's going to be other people that X'd out and they're going to sell. It's a big cycle that's still going to happen. But with this token, it's different because there's going to be some massive buys from companies on this. So that's going to help the holders. And, you know, I wouldn't worry about basically volume if that's what's being worried about. That we're just sitting here waiting for the next thing. So people are going to FOMO in when it becomes more known. So right now, not as known. Marketing campaign ramping up and whatnot, which was revealed tonight. And when some contracts get signed and whatnot, it's going to become more known, and then mass adoption is going to happen. And so you're in a good place. You're in a good place, good tight place. Just don't even look at charts. Charts will drive you mad and crazy.
Hi, I have one question.
I have a question.
If NirosX business, they like to use the AI from Niros, how does it work? Is that like, they want to use, they have to like, is NirosX going to favor Niros in that part of it?
We both said Guapo.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? I actually didn't understand it.
If the NirosX business customers, whoever buying the token, if they want to use Luna, the AI technology, which is part of Niros, is that like going to favor? If the Niros business want to use Niros, the Niros token also will go up. I just want to see, is there any connection between NirosX and Niros token?
So the best thing to think of it is regular Niro is a store of value token. It's basically there to secure your finances. So think of it like gold, and think of Niro's X like USD. It's just transactional. It's completely transactional. The only difference is $1 in USD is always going to be worth $1, but Niro's X, goes up in value or down.
Yeah, store of value. Niros being the store of value. It has 21 million tokens. It's literally a mirror on the ETH blockchain of Bitcoin. It's just not wrapped Bitcoin. It's not tied to the price of Bitcoin. But So basically,
and also, so one thing is, there definitely is opportunities for NirosX companies to use the Niros AI technology. Say if, again, we're going to stick with the Dallas Cowboys example. If the Dallas Cowboys also wanted to have a little virtual Cowboys assistant that could update you on scores and update you on things, that's a completely different aspect. That's not, what X is built to do. That's of the main Niros token. But building these relationships with businesses, it gets our foot in the door for all of our other products, our AI analytics, our marketing services, to be utilized by those companies, not just have them utilizing their transactional token. So the connections are there, Again, as you said, one buy on X doesn't directly affect Niros, but the ecosystem is synergistic, really symbiotic. Like every token builds into the success of the other tokens.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yep, that was a great way of looking at it. Think of it as you are going to have an opportunity to build a relationship. And as you build a relationship, you're going to find that it's going to allow you to work within the company. You get in. Once again, you get your foot in the door with one thing, and it's going to allow you to move from there. So that's really the main purpose of it. But at the end of the day, we start with one thing, which is the NirosX token as a transactional token within the business. And as that becomes a success, it opens up more opportunities and more doors for much more. So yeah, guys, we're approaching a hour and a half on here. So do got to wrap this up soon. Great questions so far, guys. But anyone else have any other questions before we start wrapping this up?
Yeah, to the moon here. Last question.
Absolutely, go ahead.
So I love what you guys are doing. I love the clarification on everything. I just have one last question. What is the primary advantage for the businesses to adopt a crypto-based transaction system rather than just keeping, their merchandise or whatever on fiat? Are they saving on like transaction fees, or what advantage are they getting moving to this platform?
I can help answer that unless somebody else is already starting. I know that NirosX, it will be a zero transaction fee unit when businesses use it. When somebody uses Visa and MasterCard, they get the merchant fee attached to it by Visa and MasterCard or American Express. So that is one advantage. In the long run, if you run businesses, you always look at your bottom line, and if you can cut down on fees, those little nickel and dime fees that get you, then your bottom line has just been, it's been raised. And that's one advantage of NirosX just by itself. And that is a good selling point by itself.
And on top of that, the amount of money it would cost them to actually start a crypto project and to adapt it to get everything going, because you have to understand that it's one of those things where it becomes a token that they can have for themselves that is actually within their own universe. So it's something that brings in a lot of attention. And you can see even projects, I've seen wrestling recently did an NFT drop. A lot of different sport industries and different things are loving to see this stuff, and having your own. And look at it this way. If I have my own crypto transactional token, right? What do I get from that everybody's missing? Okay. There's something that everyone here is missing. And I know the answer. And I want to challenge you guys in here to tell me what, and I've mentioned this before, and nobody who is on the team, please don't answer this. I want to hear from the community because there's a lot of smart people here. What is one of the most important things that you can get as a business that is going to help you grow your business in the future? Please, somebody answer this, please.
NirosX.
Come on. What is it?
NirosX.
You get, and the pro, come on, man. Why'd you answer? I said from the community. Somebody mentioned credit. You get data, information. You get to see the people that are buying your token, what they are doing with it. What are they spending on it? Google, Amazon, Facebook, what do they all want? Information and data. Because when you have information and data, you have power. There is a reason why you get all these ads that pop up, and all of a sudden you're there going, hey, let's go grab lunch. And 5 seconds later, you go on Google and you get an ad for Chili's, or you get an ad for something else that you mentioned. How many times you're there just talking out loud in your house, and you go on a website and the first thing that pops up is exactly what you were talking about? Because everything that is around you that is AI based is collecting data and information. And the biggest currency in the world right now, whether you realize it or not, is not gold, and it is not money. It is not Bitcoin. It's data. And this is going to allow the analytics to go out there to people, so that way they have their data and they can go out there and streamline their business and have the usefulness of the analytics. Major League Baseball team do not hire the same kind of scouts that they did 10 years ago. Okay. Go look at the movie Moneyball. It's about getting a leg up with data. This is going to provide businesses with data at a low price. It's going to cost them less than what they're going to spend anyway. They're not going to have to worry about shilling out money to Visa and MasterCard. And they're also going to get data. It's a safety net for them. They're able to handle all the transactions, and they're able to keep it in their own ecosystem. And that should open up your eyes. Data. I'm going to repeat it again one more time. Data. If I have data, I can take my business and bring it on so many different paths. If I know that at 8 p.m., people leave to go to the bathroom, and then after they go to the bathroom, they stop to get a beer because they want to refill their bladder with more to go pee out again later, I'm going to know this from the transactions of my own currency. I'm going to see that Bob Smith bought this token, and he went and bought more beer at this time. He made 4 purchases of beer. How do I know? The data. These are things that you want, okay? And I'm just giving you random examples here. I'm not saying that's what NirosX is going to do. But the data aspect of it, the analytics, is so huge for businesses because it helps them become more successful. It helps them push their products. Imagine if you can streamline what time you make hot dogs and hamburgers, because you know at that time is when you have your biggest uprising of people based off of purchases and data that they have. It's going to allow you to get real world data that you guys don't even understand. And they're going to be able to migrate NirosX however they want, create their own software for the currency if they decided, and be able to analyze all this stuff. I sell cars for a living. I run a car dealership. I run the internet department, and I have people that work for me. And one thing that I've noticed as we're become corporate, everything is based off of data. The more data you have, it literally tells us within the first 3 days, 80% of the people buy a car. If we wait till after those 3 days, we're pretty much done for. So guess what? We send 3 emails, 3 phone calls, 2 emails, and 1 text message the first day. The second day, we do it again. The third day, we do it again. After that, if we have no response, it kind of fades away, and we start worrying about the new customers. Data is the huge, and it's the biggest thing out there right now. Facebook, data. They might as well be called data, literally data book. They're just pulling your data and getting all your information. So yes, and Spaceman Spiff wrote something that says, read the white paper. And I'm going to read this. Services. Supported by cutting-edge AI, Niros will use big data, corporate intel, marketplace trends, corporate and partner calls for vendor services, training opportunities, and listing services to keep members of disadvantaged groups abreast by upcoming opportunities based on personalized data provided during intake, matching individuals to opportunities' primary goal. So NirosX is going to also allow people to get some form of data. And I hope that strikes a chord with you guys and shows you how ahead of the curve this project is, when you got other projects out there that are talking about utilities that are never going to come out. And then some are going to come out with utilities and they're going to flop, and their tokens are going to drop because no one's going to use it, while this token is focusing on giving a real world solution to businesses, help you get data, make it cheaper for you to do these transactions. Great information.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any more questions? We got
Uh, I can
one,
say
maybe two more questions.
it's no question. I mean, for the people who join after, because I know everybody's asking about marketing, you know. So we are gonna have marketing on Facebook, on Twitter, and on TV. That there are going to be ads on TV. So can you imagine, like, if you see any ads on TV, will be on Hulu or Sci-Fi. I don't remember all the channels, but if you go inside the channel, people will tell you. So think about if we capture these ads from TV and we start to shield them, here on Telegram, on Twitter, and everything. That's going to be mind blowing. As well, I wanted to say about Niro 6, don't look at it as a coin, which is going up or down or up and down, because it might be down right now, but look at this, look at the coin as a business behind the coin, When you buy Niro 6, you don't buy a coin, you buy like a share inside the business, which is in the real world, It's not like Saitama, which is just on the crypto, It's like a business behind. So think about back in the days, like probably was like 4 or 5 years ago, Tesla had 3 days to avoid bankruptcy. Think about if Tesla would had a DEX tool chart, in that moment, in that 3 days, and you will see all red, where will be Tesla now? Will be in bankruptcy, But what is Tesla right now, today, because people in that 3 days didn't sell. They believed they believed in the company. They didn't sell their shares. It's one of the biggest companies. And even if I'm going to buy Niro 6 tonight, just saying, guys. So, even if it's down, like how it's now, I don't care because I know the business behind which is gonna come, which is gonna be, So this is what I care about because I'm very tired about watching all these other coins, and just don't get me wrong, maybe there are great coins, but they are just coins just on the blockchain, In reality, they don't really have nothing, like almost nothing, apart apart crypto. Yeah, they are just coins on the blockchain, and that's it, It might work for Bitcoin, which was the first one, but now you saw it. Everybody can do a coin and say, okay, we are a new coin. What we have to offer, I don't know, but we are a coin. These guys are offering something in the real world as well, So that's the point about Niros or Niro 6, Even if you see the chart is going down, it didn't matter. I bought when it was high, I bought, and I'll buy even now when it's low. It's okay. I'm not looking at the coin as a crypto coin. I'm more interested the business which is in the real world because that will be the thing which will bring money in, not the hype on Twitter, buy the coin 100x. I'm not looking for that coins anymore because I'm very tired of that.
Yeah, and absolutely, like you're saying, and we've always emphasized this. We're not worried about the. We're building a real product, a professional product that will stand out in the crypto space, last the test of time, and grow into a leader in the industry. And for like we have the marketing coming, all the people that say when marketing, when we have given people a chance to really get in on the ground floor and experience those explosive gains. Even already, we've risen so high from launch, that some people feel it's a barrier to entry. So we're really trying to build up that organic growth. And like the pro was saying, this is more than a coin. It's an entire business, an ecosystem, a network of businesses all working together, feeding into each other. Niros is positioning itself to become an international multimedia financial conglomerate, like with its own currency and its own blockchain. It's honestly next level, mind blowing stuff. And I personally am laughing at the short term price movements of NirosX, knowing what's going on behind the scenes. The fact that, people are just day trading and it's dropping a little in the first week is hilarious. I'm freeing up some stock funds to buy some more. It's great. And, thanks everyone for jumping on, taking the time to listen and ask questions. Really great questions. We appreciate it. Maybe you have time for one or two more. I know Mike and Mike are trying to wrap this up.
Anybody else have any other questions, guys? Otherwise, we'll get this wrapped up. Lots of great information shared today. Hope you learned something. But like I said, I'll give you guys one or two more minutes to go ahead and ask last questions, and then we'll get this wrapped up. And if not, sounds like everybody's quiet. I think we're good. So guys, recap of everything will be on this AMA. You're more than welcome to listen to it. I always tell people, make sure you do research. Keep in mind, all this conversational stuff we did is not financial advice. All we can do is try to get you guys as much information, answer your questions, and help you guys. So I do want to say I do appreciate everybody who locked on with us today. When you're logging in and you're paying attention, it goes a long way in helping us spread the word. And that's part of the job that, you guys should definitely want to do is make sure you're spreading the word of Niros. Make sure you're spreading the word of NirosX. Make sure you're spreading the word of A-Wars. Lots of exciting things with everything. Look for the ads. When you see the ad, take a picture of it and post it. Show people on Twitter and be like, hey, is your token advertising on sci-fi? Is your token advertising here? Put it out there, because that's the kind of stuff that there's investors that will invest in something. Why? Because they've seen it on TV, as stupid as that sounds. So do want to tell you guys once again, on behalf of Crypto Mike, myself, and the Niros team, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Whether it's the morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, we do appreciate you guys. And if you missed some of this AMA, we will be sending it out there. And hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.